It'll expose you in a hurry.
ESPN 95.3.
When I sit back and I think about it, I think there are a lot of different ways in which this could play out. You definitely punted the ball on getting rid of the guy that was in charge last year when there was a really low volume coaching cycle. And now,
not in the SEC.
And now it's one of the biggest in the history of college football. You don't mention that, hey, this guy might want to be the head coach if he's not going to be the head coach.
Now, obviously, all eyes are on the end of this week for those rain chances. We're starting to get a little bit of data that's now getting within range of a little bit more higher resolution data. That cold front from the west continues to move a little bit to the south, to the east. Not expecting anything severe. That's the good news for us here, but could see some rumbles of thunder, and obviously going to be, looks like maybe a little bit wetter. So if you're out and about, possibly at the Razorback game, people that have that rain gear handy.
The hard truth is we play them 9 more times, we beat them 9 times. And that's what's hard to take.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. With Ty Richardson.
When you started saying, do you show your hog? I was wondering where you were going.
And Tommy Kraft.
He could just kind of stand there and munch on little finger sandwiches.
And produced by Colton Little.
That, I don't really care, to be honest.
Tommy, any idea what the show us your hog was in relation to from yesterday?
I don't know. I've sidetracked by the finger sandwiches. I remember saying it, but I don't remember the context. So,
talking about Marcel Reed, how much time he had.
Oh, yes. He had time to eat finger sandwiches while standing in the pocket last week. Yes,
he did.
Yes.
No pressure, no sacks, just not a lot of activity for Arkansas in that situation. All right, welcome in. It is a What's Your Beef Wednesday. Heard a few beefs. Colton, you don't want Gruden. You don't want Petrino. Who do you want to be Arkansas?
God, somebody with the pulse. Somebody that's not 70 years old
just
out
a young
there
guy.
Dragging a bunch of old bones around, a bunch of baggage
the new
and
50,
skeletons
Colton.
in the closet. I just want somebody.
Signetti's 64, and he might be the most coveted coach in college football.
And that's all fine and dandy. Is he going to coach here at Arkansas? No. So yeah, give me somebody who's willing to coach here. That's not dying.
You heard the
willing to coach here.
You said Bobby is. Well, yeah, and just curious to see if they would hire him. Can they hire him if he goes winless the rest of the way, even if they're just in close games? I can't see that happening. We kind of said like 2, maybe 3 good, probable, 4 absolutely. And you can't hire Bobby Petrino if they go winless. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to win Saturday, and if they win Saturday, I think they're going to beat State, and if they do that, I think they're going to win one of their next 3. Against either LSU, Texas, or Missouri.
If they win the next 2, if they beat Auburn and Mississippi State, the search is over. Just go ahead and just get the deal done. Start putting the staff together. Start moving all the family in from Missouri State or wherever they're scattered. It's over. I believe if he wins these next 2,
it was
lot at stake.
Interesting. Again, What's Your Beef Wednesday brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. Tommy, after the game, I've seen him post pictures of his grandkids on social, but just like the interaction that they had after the game, after the loss, and him talking with it's almost like, and I don't know if this is like calculated or if it's just who he is nowadays, but he seems different than he was. And everyone changes in 14, 15 years or 13, whatever it's been. But I think, and I was like, is this guy different than he was back when? And then every media person that covered him then versus now is like, yes. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it is just interesting to me.
What's Your Beef Wednesday brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. We've talked about, and we'll talk more about, a wet weekend forecasted ahead. That might mean a weekend in the kitchen, maybe around the TV watching football and eating some of your favorites. I tell you what I think is going to be a favorite around our state. What time of the year are we getting into? Chili season. It's going to be a weekend. Get by Richard's. Have them grind up some of that coarse ground beef, because you need the coarse ground for really good chili. Get some fresh sausage. They get everything you need to make a really great pot of chili. I think you will have a pot of chili on every third stove this weekend across our state. So cooler weather, going to be rainy, sticking inside. Get you some of those house-made hot dogs and brats and sausages that could go along with it. Anything for the fixings to go with a great pot of chili. It's all at Richard's Country Meat Market, 3042 North Market Avenue in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
All right, so another beef of mine this morning, and you can jump in with them at any point at 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Group Hotline, is the rain. You heard the weather forecast that Colton put in our open this morning. And it's just like, Tommy, you hadn't had an SEC game yet. The fans kind of persevered and got through all the stuff last week. And now, once again, and it looks like, Tommy, throughout much of the day, like it didn't look like it was going to stop or at least come back. This looks like that something that you're going to have to play throughout the day. I don't know if it's thunderstorms or whatnot. But Saturday, once again, and Friday, you pointed out before the show, high school games have been moved from Friday to Thursday. So it's just something for people coming in for Auburn this weekend you're unfortunately just going to have to deal with.
Yeah, I started getting calls about games I'm involved in and just other things happening early yesterday morning. These conversations were had on a Tuesday, and many of the high school games across Northwest Arkansas have been moved to Thursday. High school games depend on gate, just like anything else, but the tickets aren't pre-sold in a lot of cases with high school, and no one wants to sit through 30-minute delay after 30-minute delay with lightning. So, yeah, it's going to be one of those weekends that sounds like, from what Colton had there in the intro, not severe weather on Saturday. Mm-hmm. The game won't stop unless it's lightning or extremely severe, but it could be very uncomfortable, which I think keeps people away from Friday night's basketball game. Because if it's a downpour, you're not going. I mean, you're just not, and you can't expect people to walk from lot 56 or whatever we call it now, lot 321, in the rain. You're not going to do it for a game that doesn't matter. It'll be a very sparse crowd if the weather holds up. And I just wonder, are people going to show up to see two teams that haven't won an SEC game, which takes away home edge for Arkansas if people don't show up for this Auburn game? So nothing we can do to control the weather. I was raised to never complain when you get rain because we need it. But I hear what you're saying.
Well, so. And on that subject, you mentioned the parking last week. I don't know what the protocols are in terms of the staff on campus, but so I get to the parking lot. I take the station vehicle back to Springdale after our show at the Stadium Shop, which will be at 6 a.m. this Friday. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, Saturday, excuse me. And I was thinking, hey, I'll just bus up like I always do so I don't have to walk all the way up to the stadium. No. They didn't have the buses running at the time. So people like myself are having to walk from I can't call it 322. It's lot 56 to me. It'll always be lot 56 or baseball or whatever else. And by the way, I'll take accountability for this. I decided to wear my good cowboy boots instead of my duck boots that I sport once a year, thinking to myself, oh, it's not that bad. I have a hole in both boots. They're both ruined. I got to get the sole or something fixed. My feet got so. I hope so, because they're just so stupid on my part. Again, I'll take accountability for that. But I would ask the U of A this weekend, for the fans that are going to persevere through the rain like they did last weekend, please keep the buses running. Please keep the parking lot of the cops. It just said not in service. I guess it was just because of the rain. But
what said not in service?
The bus did, on the signage on the that flashes across the front. Yeah. And it said not in service. And
I tell you why, because I tell you why they probably had them out. They knew they weren't going to open the gates. They knew they weren't going to open the stadium. They knew there was a chance that, hey, why bus people to a stadium you can't get into? So that's why they didn't have the buses working. No need to take anyone up there when they can't get in. That's why the buses weren't working last weekend.
Yeah, and they pushed the game back. But I still thought that for people,
they already knew that was a real possibility. So I'm certain that's why that was the way it was.
Well, I hope my boots can get to again. I'll take accountability for my own stupidity and wearing my nice boots instead of the duck boots that I sport once a year. I do it all the time. I do it every single day. There should be like how the shampoo bottles have that instruction on them. That's
you're the reason why there are instructions.
Well, there also should be like what's not an asterisk, but there's something. There's a signal, I'm forgetting. There's a word used for this, like before
disclaimer?
Disclaimer. There
Warning?
We go. Before every morning rush hour. Hey, you're about to hear something absolutely, positively that will dumbfound you each and every day. So just prepare for it. You can't always prepare for it, but there needs to be, I think, a warning that we throw.
I'll make a disclaimer. I'll put it in there.
That would be rhetorical. That would be defined as rhetorical. So, well, weather is a beef this weekend. When you look at when you look at this situation, I don't know how much home edge you need. You just need to go out. I mean, you got an offense that's really good with Arkansas, a defense that's really good with Auburn, and everything else in between's below average. So I don't know what we're going to see this weekend. But when Arkansas has the ball, Colton said he's going to walk away from the TV yesterday. Yeah. Don't blame him.
Well, I have to do the post game. I do have to understand what's going on, but it'll be hard. It'd be hard to watch.
The post game is set from about 4 to 6. I wouldn't be surprised that post game is like 6 to 8 or something. Just depending on what the weather. Now, you mentioned it not being severe. I just don't know. Like, again, I'll let Derek handle the meteorology or telling me if it's going to thunder, lightning or not, if the game's going to get delayed. But that was I'm glad they did last weekend how they did it. If that's the case this weekend, I hope they get out in front of it a little earlier, just from a timing standpoint, logistics, and everything else. But you're also subject to whatever's going to happen in Northwest Arkansas, which we know weather is just kind of wild. In not just NWA, but really across Arkansas.
So if you're not going to the game, get by Art's Barbecue, Rogers Avenue, 2 doors east of Lowe's. They'll have burgers $1 off. They've got that drive-up window. Here's the thing. We're all going to be looking for something that we can go get and not get out of our car when it starts raining. Friday night, if your game's been moved to Thursday night, they're going to have the all-you-can-eat catfish on Friday night. And that's always a big Friday night at Art's. Saturday, $1 off burgers, the smoked brisket queso. You can get all of that to go, or you can eat there, and they got TVs everywhere. I love going to Arts. It's you gotta get there early for lunch anymore. I mean, it's packed anymore because it's so popular because it's so good. But Arts will have the smoked brisket queso Saturday. You can get it a big bowl of that, chips, a salsa, and all the burgers are $1 off as well. So if you're planning this weekend, Art's Barbecue, Rogers Avenue, 2 doors east of Lowe's in Fort Smith.
You know, it was a beef of mine at the time during the game what happened for a Texas A&M player faking an injury. And the SEC has done something about it, and that's our opening drive this morning.
We have a player down. Question is, was the player down before the ball was spotted or after?
There's your answer. Yep, there's the new rule, the point of emphasis this year in collegiate football.
There's a new rule created to prevent teams from feigning injuries to slow down tempo. Tyreek Chappelle, after the ball is spotted, he ends up going down to the ground, and Bobby Petrino knows it. Throw the flag. And whether the injury is legitimate or not, it's not up to the referee's discretion. If the ball is spotted ready for play and a player goes down injured after, it is an automatic timeout. And if the team has no timeout, it's a 5-yard penalty for delay of game.
This is the opening drive.
Tommy, I know you like to follow this stuff. Texas A&M has been fined $50,000 from the SEC for faking that injury to stop Arkansas, or not stop, but try and slow down and prohibit Arkansas from scoring. That's the first fine. Second offense is $100,000, and then the third could be subject for a head coach suspension. This is the first time this rule has been enacted since it was put in place. I found that interesting. But Mike Elko put out a statement. We respect the SEC's decision, blah, blah, blah. But I am happy that we are not seeing this as blatantly in college football anymore because coaches know there's a punishment that could result like the Texas A&M Aggies just got on Saturday.
Well, and here's a couple things. We have seen it slow down, so the rule is it's effective in what they were wanting to accomplish by putting the rule in. It takes it off of the officials to determine, is this a real injury, is this a fake? It's just if the ball's spotted and then you go down with an injury, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
Or it's a timeout. If you don't have a timeout, it's a penalty. So, there is no judgment involved. It is what it is. And, I don't know if the guy was actually injured or not Saturday. I think he came back in the game.
Like a play later. It did not appear like it, Tommy.
But, cramps and things occur. But, I don't think – I think the rule and its intent and its effect is greater than the few situations that may occur where, you can just be standing there and you get a Charlie horse in your hamstring or your calf or whatever. But those are going to be the exceptions that are true. Mostly the rule is going to eliminate, Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin from doing what they've done for the last few years.
A guy from Harrison says, what about lying about clapping? Why didn't we punish Kirby Smart for blatantly?
I was all in on it. I don't know if I was leading the charge, but I was at the front of the line saying he should be fined. And I want it to be more than $50,000. I want to send a message because that's the integrity of the game. It's deceitful. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, Kirby should have been fine, and I don't think he was privately, because I think they would have made it very public if he had been.
JT and Hot Springs, kind of to your point about Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, who would have believed that they were not the first one to get this penalty and fine, that it would be Texas A&M, which I don't have a history in my mind of Mike Elko and them doing this. It is kind of funny that Ole Miss is not the first one to get divvied out this fine and penalty, considering I feel like it's been really consistent with them over the years.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, A&M hadn't had that reputation, and so hey, there's going to be someone that's really not guilty that gets penalized a timeout or a 5-yard penalty on this, because it is possible to be standing there and have some kind of injury on you. But you got to coach your players up. If you feel like anything's possibly wrong and you're on defense, just go down immediately.
Well,
particularly with a hurry-up offense where they're going to spot the ball quickly, particularly following a middle run.
Tommy,
you feel wrong at all, get down.
Yeah. Speaking of Ole Miss, they got a big game this weekend after losing their first game of the season to Georgia and Athens. They'll now travel to Norman to take on John Mateer and Oklahoma. It was funny. I don't know if you saw this from over the weekend, but there's a video that they put out on social media of Lane Kiffin, and a lot of people didn't know who kind of the bigger guy was walking behind him, which is Jimmy Sexton. Is there a more set up person in college football right now to make money, or just anyone in the world for that matter, than Jimmy Sexton? When you think about all these hirings and firings, how he is going to get buyout money, because from coaches that get paid buyouts, he gets part of that. He gets when coaches get raises when they're staying at their current school. He gets, obviously, when they're hired elsewhere and they get a big pay raise. I mean, I
don't know how his contracts work with his coaches, if they're all the same, if it's a standard or blanket deal. But your point's right. It's Jimmy Sexton's season, and all this carousel of coaching changes is going to do nothing more than make his grandkids a much better Christmas. So I don't know how much he does it for the money anymore. I would assume Jimmy Sexton and his partners and his they've made enough money at this point. They're probably doing it for the passion and the love and the negotiation of the deal. There's got to be some juice in the fact that, hey, ahead of the whole world what's getting ready to happen in this coaching search. Mm-hmm. And you've got the deets, you've got the information, and the world's waiting on you and your crew to decide the fate of college football programs. I mean, you talk about power. I don't know how much they do it for the money and how much he does it for the power anymore.
It's a good question.
Because he can steer his clients and steer jobs in a certain way. We all know that.
Well, let's think about the Nick Saban cycle. Someone, I saw this being put out. So Nick Saban was, and I think still is, because of this TV stuff, Jimmy Sexton's client. Think about this. He represented Dan Lanning, Mike Norvell, and still does, and then Steve Sarkisian, who all reportedly turned down the Alabama job. In addition to that, Kalen DeBoer, who was at Washington, is also under Jimmy Sexton and also his client. So in one coaching cycle, 4 different coaches made money. Therefore, Jimmy Sexton made money.
And I don't know how he's commissioned, but I mean, he's not broke. Let's put it that way. But I think he does apply leverage when he doesn't have to. But that's what I mean. If you hire someone to represent you, that's their job. And if you were a coach that's coveted, why would you have an agent other than Jimmy Sexton?
Well, people wanted to get mad at
I don't know why you aren't mad at Jimmy Sexton. He's just doing he's just elite at what he does.
People wanted to get mad at Sam for switching from Judy Henry to Jimmy Sexton. That's the equivalent of you saying, well, I don't want the best person to represent me in like that didn't you can get mad at Sam for a lot of different things that happened on the field and transpired during his coaching tenure at Arkansas. I will fully allow you to do that. But it was just funny when people were like, yeah, he shouldn't have allowed Jimmy Sexton to make him more money. What? Like, you would not want someone to represent you to make more money at your current job? There's not a person on God's green earth that would turn down that deal if Jimmy Sexton could represent you in any line of business and make you more money. It's ludicrous.
If you could figure out how to do it, and there's others that try to be Jimmy Sexton's rival in this business. I mean, Drew Rosenhaus is another famous name, but more with NFL and those type of players. But if you could figure out how to carve your niche, and I don't know that a niche is define something that's small. I don't think what Jimmy Sexton does is small. But if you could rival him somehow, where you could, ADs would love it. They'd love to have some. Well, Jimmy, we're not going to go with your guy. We're going with this new agent over here, and their candidate. Now, in the end, Jimmy Sexton's done a great job of getting a stable of clients that win games.
Mm-hmm.
And what is everybody after? A coach that can win games. So
is Sexton? I'm trying to look this up. Is Sexton Cal's agent? I don't know if he is or not.
I don't think so. I don't remember that name around his hiring here. So Cal probably doesn't need a lot of help. He probably just has an attorney and saves the money.
You know what? Some like NFL franchise quarterbacks and then like first team All NBA guys do. Tommy, they just fire their agent before the big contract, and they get a lawyer to look over the documents, so you don't have to give up however much a percentage of that. That's when you have, like, we talk about leverage with college football coaches and agents. That's what certain players have. It's like they know they're getting a max deal.
Well,
why do I need an agent to shave off 10%? Just have a lawyer to look at it.
Well, I don't think it's 10%. Number one, number two, in baseball and in basketball, there's slot values. I mean, you kind of know what it is. There's not a lot of negotiations. All right, that's your opening drive this morning. It is brought to you by the Fence Man. 782-3936 is the number. Aluminum fencing's really popular right now. Won't rot, won't fade, looks great, and they can do a custom design to make your home or business look awesome. And you don't ever have to worry about a lot of things that go along with aluminum fencing. It's worth the difference. Might check it out, 782-3936. The Fence Man, online at thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. One thing that's interesting, looking here on the Bet Saracen app, the line's completely flipped, Ty. Arkansas is now the favorite at home by 1 point over Auburn. You can look that up on the Bet Saracen app, over under 56.5. But the Hogs giving up 1 point on Saturday. All the action at BetSaracen.com.
I'm glad I got the money line for Arkansas when the odds were better earlier in the week.
Yeah,
I really
minus 115 now for the Hogs.
Yeah, I'll take that. Hog update coming up, hearing from Bob Petrino on some players when we return on the Morning Rush.
He's talking about Richard's Meat Market because that's my spot. And, of course, Richard and Chris have been around forever.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
I'll face with you, Ty.
Hog fans, this is Robert.
And this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth, and we want to introduce the newest member to the Mann family, Raleigh.
Hello, 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 and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Raleigh, you're not really new to the family or the Stadium Shop.
Yeah, I've been around a few years, and I can say it's awesome to be a part of the family, alumni, and locally owned Razorback store in Arkansas.
You mean the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
And thank goodness we are the largest because we've been receiving so much new stuff lately, like the new Nike jerseys and sideline apparel, as well as your favorite brands like Champion, Tommy Bahama, and Cutter and Buck, and just way too much stuff to mention here.
Hey, Raleigh, what state's famous for their small drinks?
Raleigh don't.
Matt, I gotta try. What state is famous for the smallest drinks?
Minnesota.
See, I told you.
Yeah, his dad jokes are so legendary.
Anyway, stop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road next time you're in Fayetteville.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Or shop the Googleator Facegram interweb page.
Dad, it's called a website, and it's shop on Razorback.com. Folks, it just does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
The Mega Millions jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $500 million. So, what would you do if you won?
The first thing I'd do if I became a millionaire is, call my mom.
I would buy my mother a Maserati.
I definitely would buy a jet.
Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Mega Millions jackpot of more than $500 million. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
I only came here to do two things, man. Kick some ass and drink some beer. Looks like we're almost out of beer.
This is the Morning Rush.
How could I possibly be expected to handle work on a day like this? Take a day off and check out the certified pre-owned rides at Rath Auto Resources. All this month, take advantage of huge discounts on our road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles. Inspected, reconditioned, and backed by a comprehensive warranty. So choice. I highly recommend picking one up. Life moves pretty fast, so stop and look around at Rath Auto Resources. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com. You're still here? The ad's over.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? in your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Family owned and operated since 1950, Crabtree RV Center is proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for 75 amazing years. From a small dealership on Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith to 17 acres located at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma, Arkansas, Crabtree RV Center is your one-stop shop for sales, service, and parts. Come celebrate 75 years with us and take advantage of spectacular savings all year long. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Doe's Eat Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Doe's Eat Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at precisiondoornwa.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Ace in the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Why would you wander around a warehouse store looking for paint when you could just swing by your neighborhood Ace? In addition to Ace's award-winning service, we have top-rated paint brands. Plus, our color matching technology allows us to match any color. So stop wandering and start painting. Head to your neighborhood Ace today.
Now through October 31st, get $10 off per gallon of select paint and exterior from Clark Kensington, Ace Royal, and Wood Royal brands at locally owned Yeager's Hardware. Yeager's, real help, real savings. Now open in Barling.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Here's NASCAR Hall of Famer Mark Martin.
As a race car driver for 40 years, I survived a lot of crashes. Not everyone can run into a wall at 200 miles an hour and walk away. Without a seatbelt, I wouldn't be alive today. Now I'm retired, back home in Arkansas driving my pickup. I'm shocked how many people aren't wearing seatbelts. Why risk your life when it only takes 2 seconds to buckle up? Take it from number 6. Buckle up, Arkansas.
A message from the Arkansas State Police Highway Safety Office.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Give it up!
There's only one Razorback.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those. 7 down.
This one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
Everybody woo big Philly. This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
They've been struggling with their offense. There's no question about that. And they ran the ball pretty well last week. Running back looked good, running the football, and they've got a receiver that we really have to understand where he's lined up, and he's a special player, kid I'm very, very familiar with out of high school. We actually had him committed to us at A&M. He's probably as good a receiver as there is in the entire country, so we have to know where he's at every play and how we're going to slow him down and take away his free access and make sure they, have to beat us left-handed.
That's Bobby Petrino talking about Cam Coleman, Jackson Arnold, and the rest of the Auburn offense, the only school in the Southeastern Conference yet to score 20-plus in a conference game. Tommy, how do you go back and forth on that, considering their opponents have been all ranked? They played the likes thus far in the SEC against Oklahoma, A&M, Georgia, and Missouri. So it's not like they played bad defense. Oklahoma's salty. We saw A&M first. Arkansas has had the most success against them. Georgia's good defensively, and Missouri is too. Is Auburn as bad as we think they are offensively, or is it just the competition they played?
Well, scoring offense, Auburn's 23.6 points a game. Arkansas scored 37. Arkansas is 5th in the conference. Auburn's 13th in the conference. Flip that, Arkansas's got the worst scoring defense in the league. Nearly 33 points. Auburn's scoring defense, 18 points a game, 17.9. So, again, it's strength on strength this weekend. I think really what will just perhaps decide the game is when Arkansas's defense is on the field, and can they get a stop, and can Auburn make a play or two offensively? Probably who wins that battle wins the football game.
I heard Kenai Walker talking about Jackson Arnold last night.
They're electrifying.
Well, that's his former teammate, but the Auburn offense is anything but electrifying. But it wouldn't surprise me at all, Tommy, if, Arkansas made him look like a Heisman Trophy candidate come Saturday, just because that defense has not necessarily showed you what you wanted to see this season. I know they played a little better against Tennessee. They took a step back again against Marcel Reed and Texas A&M, but it's you got two really good units, Auburn's defense, Arkansas's offense, as you alluded to, and then just two putrid units in Arkansas's defense and the Auburn offense.
Better be good on first down and second down. Auburn on third down this year is only giving up 31% of their third downs. It's 4th best in the league, top 20 in the country. Arkansas on offense has batted about 55%. Second in the league, 3rd in the country in third down conversions. Auburn's is 14th in the league at 36%. So, I think Arkansas offensively, you better be really, really good on first and second down. Third and long, you're dead this week.
Oh, and that's what I've been really impressed with Taylon Green. I know he's had some turnovers that make you want to claw your eyes out, and particularly in that Tennessee game that hurt you. But Taylon this season against SEC competition has engineered an offense that scored 30-plus in every game, including a Texas A&M defense. You were talking about Auburn's third down numbers. Tommy, heading in that game, Texas A&M had the best third down defense in college football and a top 20 scoring defense, and you hung 42 on them. So last year, Taylon had success against lesser SEC opponents. He's only played ranked ones thus far, and he's looked really, really good against all of them.
Yeah. Last week, I was just grabbing my stats here from last week. Third down conversions, Arkansas last week, 4 of 10. So about 40%. They got 4 of them. So point is, you just can't live on third and long. You're not going to be able to feast on third and long. And you're right, Arkansas did score 42 points, but why did they do that? Because they were good on first and second down. 6 of 10 times they didn't convert third down. So fourth down, Arkansas was 1 of 2 in the game. So you better be ready to go. More importantly, 6 of 6 in the red zone last week.
I think Taylon will throw that ball. And that's, again, Arkansas is one of the best in all of college football in red zone, not just efficiency, but touchdown efficiency. I know, again, you've had a key turnover in the Ole Miss game and the Tennessee game, but you look at the majority of their season, like when they're in the red zone, they're sticking in the end zone. And that's at least one of the encouraging things you like about this team thus far.
Yeah, they can move it up and down the field. There's no question. Arkansas can do that. So you just look at total offense, Arkansas is number 1 in the conference for a reason at over 500 yards a game. So, but you got to stick in the end zone. That's what counts.
That's your Hog Update this morning here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
And
tomorrow, I'm sorry. When's your deal at Jam Mart? You're going over there tomorrow? I know it's their customer appreciation there on Phoenix. 99-cent sausage biscuits all week. Got a bunch of stuff going on at the Jam Mart.
Yeah, they're bringing by chicken dinners today. You're going to have to eat something fancy schmancy in New York, and we're going to eat America's food here in the studio. So get a bagel with schmear or something up there in New York while we enjoy an American tradition. Chicken tenders fried, golden delicious, and covered in ranch or honey mustard or ketchup or whatever else. But yeah,
barbecue sauce. If it's America, you barbecue sauce.
Well, they got a bunch of things going on, like Tommy mentioned. Sausage biscuits all week long in the mornings, 99 cents. So today or tomorrow and Friday, you can still take advantage of those at the Phoenix Avenue location. Plus, they're drawing for a gas card tomorrow. Discounted gas from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow. Plus, they've got 99-cent specials tomorrow, including Crispitos, corn dogs, and those chicken tenders that we're talking about. It's at Jam Mart at the Phoenix Avenue location in Fort Smith. Again, they've been appreciating customers all year, but really wanted to give you a day dedicated to all the customers at Jan Mart. So don't fill up. Make sure to do it tomorrow from 10 to 2 p. When we come back here on the Morning Rush, we've got our Morning Rush daily question. Going to hear more from Bobby Petrino, plus something funny Braylon Russell said last night, coming up next.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
Hog fans, this is Robert.
And this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth, and we want to introduce the newest member to the Mann family, Raleigh.
Hello, 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 and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Raleigh, you're not really new to the family or the Stadium Shop.
Yeah, I've been around a few years, and I can say it's awesome to be a part of the only family, alumni, and locally owned Razorback store in Arkansas.
You mean the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
And thank goodness we are the largest because we've been receiving so much new stuff lately, like the new Nike jerseys and sideline apparel, as well as your favorite brands like Champion, Tommy Bahama, and Cutter and Buck, and just way too much stuff to mention here.
Hey, Raleigh, what state's famous for their small drinks?
Raleigh don't.
Matt, I gotta try. What state is famous for the smallest drinks?
Minnesota.
See, I told you.
Yeah, his dad jokes are so legendary.
Anyway, stop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road next time you're in Fayetteville.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Or shop the Googleator, Facegram, Interweb page.
Dad, it's called a website, and it's shop on Razorback.com. Folks, it just does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
The Mega Millions jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $500 million. So, what would you do if you won?
The first thing I'd do if I became a millionaire is, call my mom.
I would buy my mother a Maserati. I definitely would buy a jet.
Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Mega Millions jackpot of more than $500 million. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Well, first of all, I like the coach that they've got over there, Petrino.
This is the Morning Rush.
How could I possibly be expected to handle work on a day like this? Take a day off and check out the certified pre-owned rides at Rath Auto Resources. All this month, take advantage of huge discounts on our road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles, inspected, reconditioned, and backed by a comprehensive warranty. So choice. I highly recommend picking one up. Life moves pretty fast, so stop and look around at Rath Auto Resources. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com. You're still here? The ad's over.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
A friend is someone who knows where you came from. Someone who always shows up when you need them. Someone who's there for the good times and the challenging ones. With comprehensive insurance policies backed by award-winning customer service, Shelter Insurance is committed to being there when you need us most. To find your local agent, visit shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call your Shelter Insurance agent, Randy Hughes, in Fort Smith.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission is to improve the quality of life in our communities. Across the River Valley of Arkansas and Oklahoma, residents and businesses are experiencing the difference of our high-speed internet. Wave Rural Connect Internet provides a reliable residential connection for streaming, gaming, remote work, and homeschooling. Our business solutions provide the speed, stability, and security that you need, whether you're a mom-and-pop flower shop or large business. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
From the job site to the deer lease, Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith has what you need to get it done. When it comes to serious utility, Polaris and Kawasaki lead the way. Now with the all-new Polaris Ranger 1500 and the powerful Kawasaki Ridge. Some models come fully loaded with enclosed cabs and HVAC. Call or text 479-783-5822 or visit WheelerPowersports.com. Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
If the 25th is the silver anniversary and the 50th is gold, what's the 75th? Well, that's the fresh beef, onions, pickles, lettuce, tomatoes, fries, and drink anniversary. Everybody knows that. Get the #1 water meal for $7.50 in honor of our 75th anniversary. A meal like that is the way you're supposed to celebrate a 75th. The Whataburger 75th Meal Deal. Whataburger, what a deal. For a limited time at participating locations.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Time for the Carpat Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com.
All right, we spoke of the weather quite a bit already this morning, and plans are being changed for high school football this weekend. Things are being moved around. The Arkansas game not likely to be moved off its day, obviously, and maybe off its time if the weather forecast is severe. But here's my question. We need audience participation for this on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. You can text us your answer. Is this changing your plans for this weekend? Is what you're hearing about the weather, and like we're going to get like 4 or 5 inches of rain over about a 3-day period, Ty, is this going to keep you from going to the game? I'm afraid it's going to keep a lot of people from making plans to go. Last Saturday, it was kind of, we knew there was some weather, but it was a last-minute change on moving the game time back. Now we got 4 or 5 days of people to contemplate. Is it changing your view on going to the game? If you're planning on going, or you're thinking now about not going, that is the Morning Rush Daily Question, because I'm really worried this is going to affect the crowd noticeably for Saturday.
Yeah, I think when you look at the remaining home games this weekend, Mississippi State, which is a 3 o'clock game, and the Missouri game scheduled 5 to 7. You're running out of times to watch your Razorbacks at home. If you paid for the tickets already, maybe Tommy, it changes people's plans for those that haven't bought the tickets. But I think people are like, man, I bought the tickets. I feel like this team is playing competitive. I think they're going to win this weekend. I think that sentiment is felt amongst the fan base. And so I think that while there is going to be rain, maybe it's the people that haven't bought the tickets won't buy them, but I think the ones that have them will still go.
A lot of them, all the prime seats are taken. All the choice seats are filled up for this weekend already. I just wonder, it's one thing to want to go see. You got to really want to see a game to purposefully sit in the rain to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'm just getting to that age in life. There's certain things I'm not going to do, and I don't fault anyone if they say they don't want to go when you can sit there and watch it on your TV, listen to it right here on the radio. But I think, it's just like we see with, when we get winter weather forecasted. Everybody's plans change and the world shuts down a little bit when we got 3 or 4 days to think about it. And, the grocery stores fill up. I think that's what's going to happen for this weekend. People are going to stay home. They're going to go to Richard's Country Meat Market and get them some stuff. They're going to make a pot of chili. They're going to make some soup, some stew. They're going to watch college football all day. And I'm afraid Razorback Stadium's not going to have much in it. That worries me.
Well, I think it's a lesser opponent. Auburn's 0-4 in the league. A&M was number 4 coming in, hadn't lost yet. You got, I would say, more Texas people that maybe made their trip up. I don't know what the Auburn looks like. Texas A&M brought a ton of people this last week. They were loud, too. I hate giving that fan base credit for anything, but I'll give them credit for what they did at Razorback Stadium this last weekend. So there are some things working against you. In terms of knowing what the weather's going to be. We knew the weather was going to impact the game in some way, shape, or form leading into Texas A&M. It's just It's unfortunately there's a longer duration of rain throughout the day than there was with the Texas A&M game. So maybe I'm short-sighted on this, and I'm thinking that it's not going to be as impacted as much as it actually is. I'm just more hopeful of the idea that Arkansas fans will still show up and show out for that game. But again, I don't blame fans for, like you said, staying at home, watching on TV, listening on the radio, especially with the inclement weather that is incoming to Fayetteville.
We should point out that there is not much rain forecasted till about 2 o'clock that day. At least right now on the Apple Weather app. Light rain, very light rain all morning. Well, it's a couple hours in the morning. No rain forecasted from about 10 till about 2. And just a moderate rain between 2 and 6, 2 and 7. So hopefully you look into it a little bit more. I don't think the forecast is bad as some are projecting. Friday night's supposed to be the worst of it. But there is an 85% chance of rain with a 61-degree high on Saturday in Fayetteville. But I don't think this is anywhere near what we were looking at last weekend for those few hours ahead of the game. Doesn't look nearly as severe. It's just going to be a little bit uncomfortable if you decide to go. Hopefully that weather, like we saw last week, shifts later in the day as the week goes on, and people will get there for the game.
That'd be nice. That's your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. If there is weather and you don't want to go to the game, well, you can watch it at Cart Pass Social, #1 indoor golf facility in all of Arkansas. Christian and Nate, two Rogers boys, have put together an awesome place for friends, family, co-workers. You like golf, you just like hanging out, you can do it all at Cart Pass Social. Over 1,000 different golf courses. It's BYOB, cartpasssocial.com. Give a call at 479-487-3622. 122 Grant Place in Lowell, right across from Atwood's. That's Cart Path Social. What'd you get into in New York last night? Do anything?
Yesterday, I got here in time. I went over to the Javits Center with the National Association of Broadcasters having a radio show today and tomorrow. I'm here, as part of that. See a couple vendors and some different things. But anyway, I went there, and then I took this subway over to Chinatown, a Little Italy. Hung out there for a while, pretty cool. And then took a little walk last night around 5th and 6th Avenues down by 57th near the upper end of Central Park. So nice. Our man David Fuchs, who lives here, used to be a producer with the Morning Rush. We're going to have dinner tonight, so looking forward to that. Then I'm heading back a little earlier than planned tomorrow because of the weather and getting in, and then all the games being moved up from Friday night to Thursday.
Who's picking up the tab?
It was $40 for dinner tonight or for the plane ride? Oh, I'll probably pick up the tab for dinner.
Good. Make sure. And
how many times you ever been out with me? I didn't pick the tab up.
I pick one up once a year. That's
so,
tell me.
As long as I've known you 7 times.
Tell the audience online. I
don't think you picked one up this year.
No. Well, what was it? October? We got a month or 2.5 months.
I'm not sure about last year either. At this point,
no,
if I reflect back on it,
I make a point to pick up a tab with my boss and my dad once a year because most people get offended. Like my dad, funniest Baylor Brad story. We're at a Mexican restaurant and it's like the whole fam, like my 3 bonus sisters, my brother, bonus mom, whole crew. I think maybe some nieces and nephews were there too. Oldest brother-in-law picks up the tab, and I thought my dad was going to have a conniption. My brother-in-law was cackling, having so much fun. And so, like, I don't want people to be mad at me when I try. And I'm the young buck. I'm just trying to contribute and do something, some way, shape, or form. So once a year, I'll pick up the tab. I feel like that's the appropriate way to look at things, right, Colton? Colton, do you pay when you go out to eat with me? No.
I can't. You know what I do. I can't afford to pay. And I go out to eat with you. You never take me out to eat, Ty.
It's like you and Christian once or twice a year. I try to balance it out.
But you take care of me. Yes, thank you.
As best I can. That's the appropriate way to look at it.
Once a year, it sounds real balanced.
Well, I don't have a Jimmy Sexton orchestrated contract. I just I work for love. I work for radio and all that.
Yeah,
all that stuff.
Marry for money, so you can do radio for love. That's the way. Hey, Richards Country Meat Market's ready for you for this weekend. No matter what your plans, I still think tailgating is going to be on for this weekend. Forecast right now doesn't look that bad for that morning, so don't let the weather keep you out. Richards Country Meat Market has got all the steaks, kebabs, house-made sausages. I'm going to tell you, I think it's a pot of chili weekend. I think a lot of people around our state will make chili. Go by and have Richards grind up some of that coarse ground chili meat. some sausage, some ground beef, do maybe a 50-50 blend. They've got the spices and even some onions and jalapenos and whatever else you like to go in your chili. I think it's going to be that kind of weekend around our state. I hadn't made a good pot of chili yet this year. I might do that or some gumbo this weekend. They got everything you need. If you want to do gumbo, they got the crawfish and the shrimp and the chicken and all those things, too, that you can do with that. Richard's Country Meat Market, 3042 North Market Avenue in Fayetteville, richardscountrymeatmarket.com, or call them at 479-443 0000.
So I don't know who had the crazier night, you and the different things you went through.
Mine wasn't real crazy.
I experienced my first TGI Fridays karaoke. I did not do a drop of alcohol last night. It was all water, but I'm still feeling it this morning. The term "closed it down" usually means that implies that you drank till they kicked you out. I didn't, but I'm running on about 3.5 hours of sleep. So a beef of mine this morning, I wasn't paying attention. I always, like, when the water bottles get free, in our studio, in our office, we go through water bottles like unlike any other company you've ever seen. I mean, it is wild how many Sam's water bottles we go through weekly and monthly. And so it got low, and I'm always, team player, right? So I grab the ones that are sitting down, that are not cold, put them in, and start pulling the old ones out and putting them out and stuff and whatnot. I thought I had put my coffee cup under the Keurig. And so, sure enough, at 5 a.m. this morning, I look over, and the coffee's just, like, squirted out and all over the countertop and everything else. So that's a beef of mine. Just early this morning, lack of sleep deprivation. Yeah. I look over, and it's like, man, this is just a great start to my morning. It was the last caramel coffee, too. There's no more caramel coffee left, which is also a beef of mine. That's like, man, now I just have to have the plain old Jane coffee. But we're surviving. We're surviving.
What song did you sing last night, Ty?
If y'all would drink, if you would drink all the water bottles that we get out, I'm gonna go into full dad mode here, and because I'm telling you, I'm tired of throwing away these half full water bottles around there that say, "Oh, that one's not mine. That one's not mine." You want to start putting names on caps.
Well, Colton, I love you.
Start charging $0.25 a piece for these things.
I'm the worst offender at that, and I will raise my hand.
You and Big Thief both. Every single time I get here in the morning, there's always a water bottle. I'm just like thinking to myself, I'm like, guys, we don't
start charging for this stuff now.
If that's the worst thing I do, I'd be all right.
It's fine. It's just like it's. I've heard my dad say that too, Tommy.
I go around my house. There'd be Coke cans or Coke Zero cans, 3/4 full, sitting there, been out. Well,
I'll tell you what hacks me. It's like when I contribute and buy group beer, and I wake up the next morning because I'm always up earlier than anyone else, and I start putting stuff in the Airbnb trash, and there's like 3/4 like full beers that we're barely drinking. I'm like guys, just guys and gals too. It's not just guys, it's gals. Like finish your drink. Water, beer, Coke, doesn't matter. Finish it. You open it, you finish it. That's the morning rush policy. You open it, you finish it.
I'm with you. So, hey, Farm Credit of Western Arkansas has 25 locations around our state. They can take care of you with financing options, whether you're remodeling your existing home or wanting to build a brand new one from ground up. They've got you covered. Plus, no one knows more and can help you more with agricultural lending than Farm Credit. So if you got acreage but you want to keep some for the homestead, or you need to do lending for poultry houses and more, they've got you covered at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. MyAgLender.com, MyAGLender.com, Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. 25 locations. There's one near you.
We're going to talk with our buddy Richard Davenport coming up in just a bit. Arkansas's first recruiting weekend in the Southeastern Conference. Still trying to flip some guys. Still trying to get some guys recommitted to this Razorback football program. We'll get his thoughts on that. Plus basketball again, set to start this Friday. First exhibition game against the Cincinnati Bearcats. We'll get into that and more as we continue on to What's Your Beef Wednesday next.
Hog fans, this is Robert.
And this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth, and we want to introduce the newest member to the Mann family, Raleigh.
Hello, 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 and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Raleigh, you're not really new to the family or the Stadium Shop.
Yeah, I've been around a few years. I can say it's awesome to be a part of the only family, alumni, and locally owned Razorback store in Arkansas.
You mean the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
And thank goodness we are the largest, because we've been receiving so much new stuff lately, like the new Nike jerseys and sideline apparel, as well as your favorite brands like Champion, Tommy Bahama, and Cutter and Buck, and just way too much stuff to mention here.
Hey, Raleigh, What state's famous for their small drinks?
Raleigh don't.
Matt, I gotta try. What state is famous for the smallest drinks?
Minnesota.
See, I told you.
Yeah, his dad jokes are so legendary.
Anyway, stop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road next time you're in Fayetteville.
Or call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
Or shop the Googleator Facegram interweb page.
Dad, it's called a website, and it's shoponrazorback.com. Folks, it just does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
The Mega Millions jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $500 million. So, what would you do if you won?
The first thing I'd do if I became a millionaire is, call my mom.
I would buy my mother a Maserati. I definitely would buy a jet.
Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Mega Millions jackpot of more than $500 million. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
This is the Morning Rush.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Hardee's invites you to fill your days with a little more handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch biscuits, baked fresh every 15 minutes. Crispy chicken tenders made with hand-breaded care. 100% Angus beef patties, freshly charbroiled, built to order. And warm smiles every day, from sunrise to supper time. Because at Hardee's, there's always goodness in the making. Exclusions may apply by time of day.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
The Mega Millions jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $500 million. So, what would you do if you won?
The first thing I'd do if I became a millionaire is, call my mom.
I would buy my mother a Maserati. I definitely would buy a jet.
Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Mega Millions jackpot of more than $500 million. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
The Crane Automotive team has 16 locations across Arkansas and is home to the Crane Commitment. You'll find Ford, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Hyundai, Kia, Volkswagen, and access to thousands of pre-owned vehicles. Vehicles for every lifestyle and every budget. Even if you're not in the market for a vehicle, the Crane Team Service Centers offer the latest in vehicle diagnostic technology and certified technicians to take care of your vehicle and get you back on the road. Check them out at craneteam.com. The Ruskin and Zach studios are driven by the Crane Automotive team.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon expecting to warm up in the middle to upper 70s. Later on tonight, mainly clear, and overnight low will drop down into the upper 40s. Thursday, lots of sun, a high right around 75. And then Friday, we'll see showers and thunderstorms likely, a high near 60. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grant Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith.
We come here to win. We never expect to lose.
ESPN 95.3.
When I sit back and I think about it, I think there are a lot of different ways in which this could play out. You definitely punted the ball on getting rid of the guy that was in charge last year when there was a really low volume coaching cycle. And now,
not in the SEC.
And now it's one of the biggest in the history of college football. You don't mention that, hey, this guy might want to be the head coach if he's not going to be the head coach.
Now, obviously, all eyes are on the end of this week for those rain chances. We're starting to get a little bit of data that's now getting within range of a little bit more higher resolution data. That cold front from the west continues to move a little bit to the south and to the east. Not expecting anything severe. That's the good news for us here, but could see some rumbles of thunder, and obviously going to be, looks like maybe a little bit wet for that Saturday. So if you're out and about, possibly at the Razorback game, just be mindful that have that rain gear handy.
The hard truth is we play them 9 more times, we beat them 9 times. And that's what's hard to take.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. With Ty Richardson.
When you started saying, do you show your hog? I was wondering where you were going.
And Tommy Kraft.
He could just kind of stand there and munch on little finger sandwiches.
And produced by Colton Little.
That, I don't really care, to be honest with you.
This is The Morning Rush.
It's hour number 2 of The Morning Rush. I think it was Auburn fans that had more of a beef of what Hugh Freeze said following last season's 5-turnover loss to the Arkansas Razorbacks at home in Jordan-Hare Stadium. Tommy, you've got more years and days on me than I do. That is one of the more stupid quotes I've ever heard from a college football coach following a loss than what Hugh Freeze had to say losing to Arkansas.
Yeah, it was 24-14 was the final. I was looking at the series. It's not been close lately, really. I mean, Arkansas's only won 3 of the last 10. You look at it over the last, since Bobby Petrino left, really. I mean, that's where you can kind of draw the line of demarcation from 2013 forward. Arkansas has only won 3 times, including last year. You had the 4-overtime thriller in 15. You had a win in 2022 down on the Plains. You were at that one. I think it's your only win in the history of history behind enemy lines.
2 years later, but yeah.
And then the win last year. I mean, it's been pretty one-sided these last 12 or 13 years. It's time for the Hogs to win this game.
There's nothing greater on God's beautiful green earth than winning in an opposing SEC town, than being the away team that walks in, and has nothing to do with the game, obviously, but walks into the stadium and walks out victorious. You feel 6'5", good looking. It is immaculate, electric. It doesn't happen often for Arkansas, but every once in a while you get a road SEC.
As if you made the big play.
As I just said, I didn't have anything on the impact of the game, but it sure feels good when that clock kicks 0 and Arkansas's on the high side.
I agree. We showed you people. You wag your finger. We showed you people. We told you. We told you what was coming. Hey, I'll tell you what's coming this weekend. Richard's Country Meat Market. Bacon wrap fillets, gourmet burgers, fresh kebabs, house-made sausages, brats, and more. Everything you need for a big cookout this weekend. And I still think, despite what the weatherman's telling you, looks like tailgating before the game's going to be good. So plan on getting out there, getting your your little camp stove going, cook you a pot of chili, grill you up some burgers. They've got everything you need to make it happen at Richard's Country Meat Market. 479-443-0000. They even do curbside pickup. 443-0000. RichardsCountryMeatMarket.com, or stop and see them at 3042 North Market Avenue in Fayetteville.
All right, so before we get to RD, another beef of mine this morning. I saw it was National Sparkling Water Day, and something that ticked me off, or that ticks me off, is 2 things with water. One, if you're like afraid to drink tap water, you're soft. 2, when a restaurant charges you for a cup of water, like that I blow a gasket every time when it's like it's not like you're getting a combo or something, but when you ask for a water cup and you see a 20, 30, or 40-cent charge at the bottom of your bill. That is like the most un-American thing possible.
Did that cup cost them money? Did that ice cost them money?
Are you really going to side with corporate America on
I'm
this?
just asking. I mean, not
You're one
everywhere's
of those.
corporate America. Not everywhere's corporate America, big boy. Some of these are mom and pop businesses.
They've been taken advantage of, Ty. You know how many times I've seen people ask
you want
for
to
a
go
water
in there
cup and get a
and
full
be a
Coke?
tightwad and drink water when they're just trying to feed their kids, man.
I order like 2 times the average human, and they make their money up that way. $1 soda isn't gonna, or $2 soda is not gonna affect their
$4
bottom
anymore.
line. Yeah,
No, that's where all the profit's at. It's in the drink.
still ticks me off. Blows my mind.
I'll have some of that Ozark Mountain Valley sparkling water, please. I mean, we were over there a year or so ago. That's pretty good stuff. Right here in Arkansas.
I like the norm. They're just normal. I just never like this the normal water stuff that they have. Sparkling, it doesn't do it for me. For
You know who drinks sparkling water every day?
You're gonna tell me
one of the greatest Razorbacks of all time. Probably sitting about 10 feet away from you, just across that wall at your desk right now. Old number 9.
What does he drink? He drinks
Topo Chico.
It's LaCroix.
LaCroix,
Well,
Topo Chico,
yeah.
and he drinks Liquid Death. I don't know what kind of drink Liquid
It's literally
Death
like drinking TV static.
Okay. Well,
TV static.
That's one way to look at it. I've never heard it described as that way. Now I know what Liquid Death tastes like. It tastes like TV static.
All right, Richard Davenport, just a second. If you're going to do some fishing soon, LureNet.com is the place to go, whether it's Bobby Garland, Baby Shad, the Smithwick Original, Suspending Rattling Rogues, something from Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more. It's all great for this time of the year. You can find it at LureNet.com. Any order over $35 right here in America. In America, it's going to ship it to you for free. That's LureNet.com. Made in Arkansas, LureNet.com.
Do you know what the preservation room is for?
Delicious jams and jellies?
No.
Richard Davenport on the Morning Rush is brought to you by House of Webster. From the heart of Arkansas, House of Webster delivers top-tier jams, jellies, and sauces with a flavor you can't find anywhere else.
Richard, where do you stand with sparkling waters and your everyday drinks? Are you a coffee guy? What do you consume? I know you wake up early like we do.
Yeah, I'm not a coffee guy. I'm pretty abnormal as far as that. I know a lot of people like coffee. Never been a coffee drinker. Unfortunately, I drink Diet Coke. I know it's not the best for you, but I'm kind of addicted to Diet Coke.
Over Coke Zero? Tommy's the Coke Zero.
Yeah. Diet Coke
Yeah,
no longer exists to me.
I get that. Yeah, I tried Coke Zero. I'm a Diet Coke guy. There's been a restaurant or two that only had Coke Zero, not Diet Coke, and to be honest with you, Megan and I both love Diet Coke. So sometimes that dictates where we go to eat. Be honest with you.
Oh, it does. I mean, because it's usually just the opposite. We don't have Coke Zero, sir. We got Diet Coke, or worse, Diet Pepsi. I'm out. I'll never eat with you again.
Oh well, Pepsi. Why do restaurants in the South carry Pepsi? That seems like a Midwestern, maybe East Coast deal. Why do you? And we do. We'll check the website if we think, well, we haven't eaten over here. Let's try this. But we always check. If it's Pepsi, no, we go elsewhere.
Yeah. And people don't think it's that big a deal, but it is. It is. So
Pepsi.
I'm with you.
Not a fan of Pepsi. Learn something about Richard every single day. Well, Richard, maybe you could teach our audience something about this past weekend. Guys that I saw was a big weekend, and Petrino was talking about it earlier last week, and I don't know what the schedule looks like being an early game, but any recaps, any thoughts from this past weekend at Fayetteville with guys that visited for Texas A&M, especially getting a little bit of that night atmosphere?
Yeah, I think they were impressed. I mean, how could you not? I mean, this was one of the first games that I guess at least the home team wise. I mean, obviously that it was. They had a lot to cheer about, and they tried to cheer on the defense. The defense had a few stops here or there, but just wasn't able to do it consistently. But yeah, I think obviously it was an L, but I think and a lot of uncertainty about the future of the program, as far as who's going to be the head coach. But when you leave a atmosphere like that, regardless of you lose, you have to be impressed, and I think the kids were.
Yeah, Richard, I think it's just a tough spot right now. I mean, I guess Petrino has to move forward as though he's going to be the head coach. His staff's got to recruit like they're going to be there. Everybody knows, wink, wink. Maybe you only need to wink, wink. Everybody knows that there's a lot of uncertainty around that. I'm not sure. What's your message right now? What do you sell when there's so much uncertainty around this program? And I know the others are in this boat, but how do you go about the process right now of your Petrino and staff?
Yeah, I know in the past, staff similar to this would say, "Hey, we plan on being here." and I mean, that's fine. I mean, that's the attitude you have to have, because what if they are there and you're not recruiting? Then all of a sudden when you realize, okay, hey, we got the job. We're gonna be here. We'll start recruiting again. You can't do that, obviously. So you got to continue to recruit like you're going to be there, and tell kids, hey, we plan on being here. I mean, and that shows that you obviously, some of it's lip service, but some of it, they may firmly believe that. So you just have to do the best you can, and hopefully at the end of the day, that's good enough to get it, get a few more years and be able to have some stability.
Man, I'd have an analyst or a GA, someone I trusted that I thought had a good eye to evaluate talent, find it. I'd have them parked in a room watching every group of 5 game I could get my hands on tape-wise, and trying to find people that may be in the portal, or people I want to maybe urge to get in the portal, because what's more important than high school recruiting now is trying to figure out who in the portal can make a difference for you immediately. So I'm sure a lot of programs are doing that, and I'm sure Arkansas is no different. But figuring that part out for January 2nd or whatever it's going to be now is probably going to determine a lot more about what happens next year.
Yeah, well, I can assure you, they've been looking at film at kids that on teams that they suspected there could be a coaching change. And and some of them have come true, and I'm sure they're looking at film of guys that could, on teams that could potentially come open, like Auburn and LSU, or whoever. Who knows? Who knows who's going to be next? But you always do that, and you try to come up with a plan as far as who you like the most, and go from there. But obviously, some of it's going to come down to, how much you can pay them. You hope you can be in the same ballpark or somewhat close in the same ballpark. Arkansas, I think I've mentioned this in the past. Arkansas, I guess earlier in the year, had a commit to Arkansas who took less money than what he was offered at another school. And sometimes those relationships, that's where relationships do help you. And a kid can say, well, I can take, I'll take a 100,000 less or 150,000 less or whatever, whatever the number was. I don't know the exact number, but I know it was less. And now he's no longer committed to Arkansas, which he totally understand with coaching change. But he liked Arkansas and the relationship he had with the coaches enough to make that decision to be a Razorback at one point, until he wasn't, but for less money. So it can be done. Oftentimes it's the highest bidder, but sometimes it can be done.
Richard, Tommy's asking about the portal there. RD with us, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. How much philosophy-wise changes with them moving that portal cycle, if at all?
I'm not going to say much. It's just going to be more intense. It's going to, you really need to try, whoever the next coach is, whether it's Coach Petrino or who else. First item of business. First, along with hiring your assistant coaches, is getting enough guys in the recruiting evaluation portal room or whatever to get ready for when the portal opens on January the 2nd. You need to they should have around a month or at least 3 weeks before the portal opens. There will be kids that will announce that they plan to get in the portal. So before then, and then they'll obviously officially be in the portal when it opens. So you need to be able to have enough guys or enough people to evaluate who you want to go after, create a board, and then there's going to be some kids that maybe you didn't expect jump in when the portal does open, and you need to be able to reach out to them and try to communicate with them and try to get them on campus. That's basically what they did last year, but it's going to the portal opened December the 9th and went to the 28th. That's almost like 3 weeks or something. This is going to be like 2 weeks, and it's going to be absolutely jam-packed, intense, and because everybody's going to be reaching out to a lot of the same kids, and you got to make a strong impression right off the bat, and again, a lot of it goes back to money too.
So let's pull off three of us. Well, me and you, Richard, aren't naive. I won't include Ty, but let's not be naive a minute. These negotiations and where kids are going to go, they're not going to wake up January 2nd, start deciding. A lot of these conversations are going to happen in December.
Or right now.
Or right now. Maybe Ty's not as naive as I thought. How do you go out and deal with that? Because I think if you're waiting until January 2nd, you're not behind the 8 ball. You're behind the bus that's behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, well, I mean, you reach out to their agents. You're not directly talking to the kid, or you reach out to people close to the kid, high school coach, what have you, and a lot of that communication's happening now. High school coach can say, hey, Coach Kraft, University of Arkansas. Ty Richardson is not very happy where he is, and he's looking to move, and he is interested in coming to the University of Arkansas. Would you have interest? And then you should have a pretty quick answer, and then once it's all supposedly legal, you start that communication directly, and instead of a third party, and go from there.
Richard, we'll leave it there, man. Good stuff as always. House of Webster, best place for jams, jelly salsas, Carolina Reaper. I know we were talking about it last week. It's getting close to holiday season, Richard, and I know that you can buy variety packs. They've got everything on houseofwebster.com, and you can verify when it comes to holiday season, there's nothing better than getting some House of Webster products made right here at Rogers.
No, I would highly recommend for the holidays and Christmas gifts, what have you. They would be a great idea for people that especially love all the products that they have, just besides salsa and jams and apple butter. Just they have so many. But I mean, that Carolina Reaper, I even added it to some of my egg whites the other day. So I use that stuff on a pretty regular basis.
1013 North 2nd Street is their retail location, and they, again, houseofwebster.com. They've been doing it over 90 years. RD, good stuff. We'll see if we're talking about a win next Wednesday. Appreciate it, buddy.
Take care, guys.
It is, Tommy, we were talking about earlier in the show how you feel like that a lot of the fake injuries have been eliminated. They just fined Texas A&M, which we'll get into in our SEC update coming up, $50,000. But it doesn't seem like they're curtailing cheating by tampering in any way, shape, or form. I heard I think it was a commissioner of not lesser division, but a different classification basketball talking about it. I mean, this is just rampant in college sports right now, not just football.
I don't think they have any interest in stopping it because the ones that are at the top that help make the decisions are the ones doing it. We just need to get in the game. I mean, that's how I see it. If this is the way it's going to be, get in the game. And I'm sure to some degree we are, but I think we got to get both feet in there and get going after it.
Left lane hammer down?
Actually put the hammer down once we get in the left lane this time around. Hey, Valley Family Dental, used to know them as Riley Farm Dental. They're at the entrance to Riley Farms. Every type of dental care and procedure for you and your families there, from general dentistry and your 6-month cleanings to braces, implants, cosmetics, and more. Dr. Sparkman and his crew do a great job of making you comfortable and confident and leaving there with a better smile. They also do the Snore Guard. You can get $300 off the Snore Guard when you mention you heard it here on the Morning Rush. Just visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com or call them at 479-226-3500 and make an appointment. 226-3500, or again, valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
I don't know how many Baltimore Ravens fans we have listening to the program. Tommy, they have had a tough start to their season at 1-5. So they have removed the ping pong table from the locker room, video game consoles, a basketball hoop, and cornhole boards, according to the Baltimore Sun. Will the Ravens now make the playoffs after focusing their locker room for the upcoming season, starting 1-5?
That sounds like a college locker room.
Pretty, I would guess it's a little nicer, but, I mean, you look at college locker rooms
I would
nowadays,
guess it's not.
Yeah, college locker, I say that. I mean, LSU's is insane. Arkansas's has got a pretty cool one. I know they've got a music facility in there. I think there's a barber shop as well. It is wild what locker rooms look like nowadays compared to what they used to be. It's funny when you hear kids in high school complain about their locker or their the different facilities that they have. And then Tommy, I mean, it's not like we had bad ones. I was in a brand new high school, first 4-year kids to do it, but based on what you guys had back in the day and based on what so many other Arkansas Razorback football players have had, it's a little different.
Listening to Tyler when he was on the show, he always talked, Tyler Wilson, that the college facilities were so superior to the pro facilities. Mm-hmm. The indoors weren't even close. I mean, all these things. It's I think colleges have always been in the arms race to have the nicer facilities for recruiting. The pros are paying you to be there. They don't feel like they have to go all out the way the college programs do.
Yeah, same with it. You could probably make a case for whether it's an NBA facility in Bud Walton Arena. Maybe that's the one you can't. One facility that needs to get updated. The locker rooms aren't bad, but there's other parts of that arena that needs updated. Football's pretty
practice facility is important. That's why that practice facility being built was important. So that's
a cool place for those that haven't been in it. I thought they did a really good job with that.
Hey, before we run, let me remind you, Sterling Bank is here for you for everything you need. That's exactly what you'll find is a pleasant and productive experience and one that puts you first. Sterling Bank is your community bank here in Northwest Arkansas. Top-notch customer service. Every transaction feels personal because these guys aren't just your bankers or your friends or your neighbors. They go to church. Your kids go to school together. Sterling Bank is committed to the people right here in Northwest Arkansas, and their passion for growth and progress fuels everything they do. If you're looking for a local, friendly bank that fits your needs, see our friends at Sterling Bank, Fayetteville, Rogers, and Bentonville, or learn more at stirbank.bank. Sterling Bank, invested in you, committed to Northwest Arkansas.
SEC update coming up in just a bit. Plus, we had a little fun yesterday with something Bobby Petrino said Tommy didn't get to participate in. We'll jump into that as we continue on to What's Your Beef Wednesday next.
The best hog talk around, plus the power of the worldwide leader in sports.
We deserve a voice, and thanks to sports radio like y'all have, that's the only way we can get our message out.
We're hiring low-grade people. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Contact down around the 10, and it's intercepted. It's intercepted by Julian Neal.
This is the Morning Rush.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Want pavement protection that goes the distance? Seal-Tite of Oklahoma now offers Rhino-Tite Premium Asphalt Emulsified Sealant, the next level in driveway and parking lot care. Healthier for the environment, Rhino-Tite delivers superior defense against weather, UV rays, and wear and tear. With its high solids content, you'll get a smoother, stronger, longer-lasting driving surface. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or a contractor buying in bulk, Seal-Tite has the products and support you need. Visit SealTiteOklahoma.com today and protect your pavement with Rhino-Tite.
Hungry for steak? TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is serving up the best hand-cut 14-ounce ribeyes, tender 8-ounce bacon-wrapped fillets, and massive loaded baked potatoes. It's the new steakhouse menu at TGI Fridays. And for football nights, Monday and Thursday, it's wings for just 50 cents each, all day long. Boneless or traditional with a 10-piece minimum. Bring the team, bring the fans. Big groups are welcome, and we're open till midnight on Friday and Saturday. TGI Fridays, steaks, wings, football, it's all here at TGI Fridays at 540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
Contractors, you've got jobs to win and customers to impress. That's why you choose Luxair HVAC systems, built for performance, efficiency, and reliability. And at J&B Supply, we've had your back since 1968. We're a local family-owned distributor that treats our customers like family too, with the products, expertise, and service you need to get the job done right. For over 50 years, HVAC and plumbing pros have trusted J&B Supply in Fort Smith, Springdale, and Bentonville. J&B Supply, where the professionals go.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Herod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
We've seen it all. Recessions, tornadoes, even a global pandemic. But Hug Chevrolet GMC never closed its doors. We stuck with our community because they stuck with us. And through it all, one thing never changed. Our commitment to serve, support, and stay local. Hug Chevrolet GMC, built to last, just like the people we serve.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the
SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about to be tough there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally hit the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
I do remember the game there, though, when Tyler came off the bench and threw for, I don't know, for maybe 400 yards or 300 and some yards, and we couldn't tackle Cam. You know, we just couldn't tackle him. He was so big and strong and physical, and it was going back and forth like a tennis match, and was a lot of fun. You know, I was an assistant coach there for a year and had a great time there as an assistant coach, and working for our is he a senator now, Tuberville? Working for our Senator Tuberville was a lot of fun and enjoyed it.
Connections this weekend, Arkansas, Auburn, obviously SEC West opponents every year since 92. That's been changed and you called disbanded. Petrino's actually going up against a former coworker of his, Tommy, and DJ Durkin. They were both on staff in College Station. He mentioned spending time in Auburn as well. You brought up earlier in the show, Arkansas hasn't had a lot of success lately, only won 3 of the last 10. Petrino's 3-1 against Auburn as the head coach. Won in 2008, only first SEC win for the Razorbacks in his first year. Won the next year at home in 2009. Jericho Nelson took that dude out, which was great. He lost to Cam Newton, the Heisman Trophy winner in 2010. And then Joe Adams had that nice little pitch, 92-yard rushing touchdown in 2011 in the game you won. So he's had success against the Tigers.
Wish we could have some of his players this weekend to go up against him. That would that'd certainly make a difference. Particularly, you talk about Jericho Nelson. Need a few more studs like that on defense this weekend. That's a nice note, but I don't know what it's going to matter in this weekend's game. I mean, are you surprised Hugh Freeze has had such an anemic offense? Did he just choose wrong with his quarterback and getting Arnold over from Oklahoma? Why is a guy known for being such a great play caller and having high-flying offenses struggled so much and that has been saved to this point by his defense? However much he's been saved has been by his defense.
I think listening to much smarter college football gurus than myself, he hasn't adapted well. He's missed on 4 QBs, or 5 actually. So you got the Hank Brown kid who threw 5 picks against you last year. Peyton Thorne, he got him out of the portal for Michigan State, missed on him. He's missed on Jackson Arnold. I don't know why they thought this was going to be the saving grace for Auburn considering what he did in Oklahoma. He's been better. He's just not what he needs. And then I don't know if I can say, was it Ashton Daniels as the backup? I don't know if I can call him the miss, but he might be playing on Saturday. So, I mean, you miss on the quarterback in this league, you're screwed. Like, you're just not going to win. And that's why Arkansas, one of the reasons that you're in these games this season is because you didn't miss on a quarterback. You got a guy that you feel like can keep you, not necessarily win games because we hadn't seen that yet, but he can keep you in games. So to your initial question, Tommy, it's been very surprising. I thought this was a match made in heaven. Dude knows how to beat Saban. Good offensive guy. Just hadn't panned out. He's getting fired come Sunday when Arkansas beats him on Saturday.
Well, Arkansas's knocked other Auburn coaches out. Gene Chizik. Arkansas's been a place that if you've lost to it in the past, not always, but in the past, if you lost to Arkansas, it has spelled doom for your coaching future. This year, I don't think a lot of schools, I pulled the trigger. I just wonder if the job market's gotten so cluttered. Will a school like John Cohen and an AD like they've got at Auburn say, you know what? Maybe we don't want to do this because you want to time your opening right because you don't want to be in a situation where you are really fighting for the top candidates the way this search is going to go. So I'll be interested to see. I think on the surface you're right, but I think some of this has got to slow down a little bit, particularly if you don't think you're going to be at the top of the job search.
Well,
top of the market.
Does that because that makes sense, but does that not ramp it up? Does that not cause boosters to say, well, Scott Strickland fired Napier, John. Why can't we fire Hugh? Or in Tallahassee, well, our rival just fired Napier. Yeah. Why can't we fire Norvell and the staff's owed I think $100 million? It's insane. But
you listen to the fans, you're going to sit with them. I mean, you better know who you can go hire. You better know how much money you're going to have because it's going to be more competitive to get your next head coach than it's been in a number of years.
Which is why Bobby Petrino, day by day, week by week, inches closer to that head coaching job, whether you want him to or not. It's not because they could legitimately. Now, if they got blown out the rest of the way, then he's not in the head coaching discussion. And I personally don't think they're going to go over in the next 5 games. But even if they were to lose these next 5, I still think he would be a very strong candidate based on just the pool that you have to select from and the lack thereof, being that all these other coaches are going to look at other schools and say, that's a better job.
Well, I wanted to bring this up tomorrow, but this fits the discussion today. Maybe we can talk some more about it. The most Arkansas thing ever would be we're going to mess around and look for another coach because we got people that don't want to hire Bobby Petrino. And then while we can't find anyone to take the job because we think everyone's going to be interested in our job, Bobby Petrino takes another job elsewhere. And then you're behind square zero. You're not just at square one. You're behind square zero. So that's what you can't do is screw this thing up where you mess around, you don't show at least some support for Petrino, then he bolts and takes a head coaching job maybe in a group of 5, a place like a Memphis if a Silverfield left. He's not going to stick here to be an OC, and you can't let him waver too long. You better have a sense of where you're going, or you'll end up with Bobby Petrino coaching somewhere else, and you won't have him in your hip pocket.
Do you think he is a viable candidate at Power 4 job? And the reason I ask that, do you think he's wanting to go back to a lesser conference in college football? And I guess outside of the SEC, everything's a lesser conference, but I don't know what's in his head. Do you think it is?
My point is, do I think he's a viable candidate? You better think that because you got a strong contingent that wants to hire him here, and last I checked, Arkansas is a Power 4 program. So if you can't say yes to that, then we need to have a different discussion. But number 2, I'm just saying, if you wait around and you mess around, would he rather be the head coach at a place like, I'm just using Memphis as an example because I think their coach, could you see Silverfield being a candidate at a lot of power?
I think that's a great example.
So I think that is a good example. So could you see Petrino leaving to go to a place like that if Arkansas doesn't make a move quickly? I absolutely could because they're going to pay him $4 or $5 million, $4.5 million to come be their head coach. I mean, so there's some timing here that's delicate, and you better be having some serious conversations, and I think you better not be waiting to Thanksgiving to kind of figure out what you're doing.
Yeah. There's so many variables that are playing in, and it's funny, if they win this weekend, I think Freeze is gone, so that's another domino that falls. There's a lot of things that are going to shake out here in the next month and a week or month and 2 weeks leading up to whoever the next Arkansas coach is. But like you said, Arkansas could win these next 2 games, and maybe you name him interim in the bye week. I don't know.
You take the tag off. Yeah. I mean,
is it worthy to do that, though, beating Auburn, an 0-4 team, and Mississippi State, another 0-4 team? Because I hope they beat Texas this weekend, but they're not going to. So they'll still be winless in this league. Are you really telling me the qualifying criteria for the Arkansas Razorbacks head coaching job is to beat 2 0-4 teams in the SEC? And that would lead you to believe that he is worthy of being the head coach here in Fayetteville?
Well, I don't think it's just that. It's how strong you played against Tennessee, how well you did against the now number 3, then number 4 team in the country against A&M.
But we can't use
and listen, hang on. Then we're not evaluating what's going on behind the scenes. It's not just wins and losses, and I know that's the bottom line. I get it, and I know I'm not arguing that. But an AD's also got to look at how their practices are being ran, how the organization and the structure with staff is being ran. All of these things that are within the 4 walls we don't see publicly. There's a lot more to this job in evaluating who your candidate should be or who your pool of candidates should be than just what kind of offense do they run and can they win games. I know that's it in the end, but there's a lot more that goes into winning games from a structure side, and Hunter Yurchek's getting a front row seat to see what Bobby Petrino can do, at least in part, over this 9 weeks.
And while that is, there's a lot of questions that have to be asked. Cole and I were discussing this yesterday, Tommy, when you were in the midst of flying up there to the northeastern part of the country. Is Like Petrino, when you look, and I don't know every position coach, I don't know every recruiting battle that he won when it comes to this, but think about your offense. Like there's a couple guys that have been here, right, for a while under Pittman. But recently you added an FCS guy in Rohan Jones, who, does anyone think he's not, at least in the discussion based on statistics, is one of the better tight ends in the SEC? Like he's been, I laughed when Sam Pittman said their tight end room was better than last year. It might actually be. Anyone watch Jaden Platt, the catch he had the other night? I mean, it actually might be better, and they lost Pushka for the year. They're blocking tight end. So you got that kid. Mike Washington, I think, is second in the SEC in rushing. He's been really good. He's got nearly 300 rushing yards in the last 2 games against one of the best rushing defenses all of college football in A&M and then Tennessee. You look at who they added in Omega Blake, Raylan Sharp. This is a top 5 scoring offense in all of college football, and he basically did it hamstrung from a budget standpoint. So, again, I'm not necessarily pro Petrino. I have been encouraged by what the offense has done the last 2 games and where they are competitively at home. I want to see them win on Saturday. But for those that want to discount what he's done, especially offensively in SEC play, it's really hard to argue against Bobby Petrino's success level with lesser players than what he's going up against each and every Saturday.
Can Bobby Petrino rally the boosters? Will they get behind him, or will some of the evangelicals that can't get over what happened 12 or 13 years ago not support him financially? You've got to be able to have the support financially. Petrino knows that. Hunter Yurachek knows that. That's the reason you're in this boat. Why did Sam Pittman get fired? Was it because he lost games?
Yes.
But why did he lose the games? Because he couldn't raise the financial support to get the players he needed in order to be successful. Mm-hmm. So in the end, it's about winning and losing. I get that. But what will make you a winner versus a loser? And the bottom line is you better have financial support in order to win games, because you got to go get the groceries.
Let me, yeah. And we had a caller. I don't think we still have it on the B bar, but it was Colton. You got told it's like he gets a chance to shop with his own for the own groceries on Saturday of Hog Reaction. Let me finish on this before you tell our audience about Gaston's. Is like when you think about, let's go back to 2008, and I know that was a while ago. You got that SEC win against Auburn, like we alluded to earlier. But what got fans excited about the next year? Not only did you have Ryan Mallett waiting in the wings, and you had this 5-star quarterback that loved the Razorbacks, and we saw what he had at his success, but you won a marquee game against a rival. And you've got 3 of them, whether you call Missouri a rival or not, they are the last 3 weeks of the season. Yeah. Yes, people can be excited. They went on Saturday, first SEC win of the season. You parlay that and go 2 wins with Mississippi State next week. But you want to get that support that you're alluding to, especially from boosters. You either go into Baton Rouge, you go into Austin, or you win that stinking game against Missouri. For whatever reason, you can't beat those guys. You shut Drink up, you beat Sark, or you beat BK and maybe send him packing out the door from Baton Rouge. That's what gets that fan support you're talking about. Not Auburn or Mississippi State.
A win or 2 these next 2 weeks will give you the confidence to go do that. All right, that's the SEC Update. It's brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group, your #1 source for top-quality aggregates, asphalt, and ready-mix concrete. Whether you're working on a small residential project or a large-scale commercial job, APAC has you covered. And no job's too big or small for APAC. And if you need expert advice, they can help you with that. Construction consultant services are just part of what they do to ensure you're always on the right track. 479-587-3300 for your rock, asphalt, and ready-mix needs. It's APAC and Standard Materials Group, 479-587-3300.
As the young kids say, we haven't had a turnover in a minute.
We had some fun with that quote yesterday. Do you have a quote from your 3 wonderful children that drives you up a wall? The most consistent text we receive on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline was bet. The majority of our audience hates that. Bet and bro were the 2 that we hit. I say bet.
Not bro.
Yeah,
bruh.
I say bet a lot in text. I don't necessarily say it on air or in communication with the everyday coworker, friend, family member, whatnot, but I do say it in text. Zach hates it when I text him back, bet. Drives him insane. Do you have a phrase or word that you want to just, obviously, you would never consider strangling your kids, but that would cause you to...
I would consider it. I wouldn't do it, but I have considered it a time or two. But probably when my 14-year-old girl, who I love with all my heart, looks at me and I tell her, hey, need to do this, or hey, how was your day at school? And she's, bruh, just the most interesting, go away, just leave. It's
Well, you're at that stage as a Papa Bear where your daughter doesn't want to have anything to do with you.
Zero.
It's from 0 to 13. Or 0 to 12, I should say. Once they turn 13, they hit that teen. Everything changes from every father that I've ever spoken to. It is a switch that's flipped, and there is nothing, and I mean nothing, that you can do about it. At least from other people's experiences.
Oh, that's true. Hey, you asked me to talk about Gaston's for a few seconds. I want to remind everybody, if you've read things about the fishing on the White River right now and some temporary regulations, that does not mean you can't fish on the White River. Right now, there's emergency regulations from the Bull Shoals Dam to the confluence of the North Fork and the White that are going to keep keep all the fish in the river. Catch and release only. All the same tackle regulations, all those things are staying the same. But don't let anyone tell you they've shut the river down. You can't fish on the White River. That's not true at all. So if you've got a trip planned or you're thinking about planning a trip to Gaston's, it's still a perfect time to go. 870-431-5202. While you may not be able to harvest your limit, you can still enjoy the great fishing. I'm going to tell you the catch and the chase is far better than the eating the fish anyway. And most people, 95% of the fish caught go right back in the river. So don't let this discourage you or keep you away. I don't want you to be misinformed more than anything else. 870-431-5202. Gaston's has all the answers to all your questions. If I haven't answered them, they'll be glad to do it. 870-431-5202. Their expert guides are there for you. Great cabins and lodges as well. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time, every time.
Green gonna hand the ball off. Washington, lots of room inside the 40 to the 30 to the 20. There he goes. Mike Washington, touchdown, Arkansas.
This is the Morning Rush.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Do you want the PG-13 or the
No,
G version?
whatever.
This is the Morning Rush.
It's the grand reopening sale at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw. Take a test drive. You're entered to win a Cadillac that we're giving away. You could test drive the 2025 Ford F-150. Troy, you got $10,000 in savings. Plus, in addition to, you get the great financing at 3.9%.
Yes, and Tommy, you don't have to have great credit to get that. I'm getting 520s and 530s and 540s approved on brand new F-150s at 72 months at 3.9% financing. Right now really is the time to buy. And talk about the grand reopening sales event. I mean, we're giving away a Cadillac. All you have to do is go on a test drive and your name gets entered, and all you have to do is be here the day we're giving it away. Let us save you some money. Come and see us. The most inventory we've had since opening day. Combined inventory. We brought over vehicles from our Fort Smith location. Let's make it happen. Let's make you a deal. Come and see us. Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford.
1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw and online at harryrobinson.com.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Game day just got a whole lot better at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Wear your hog gear and enjoy half-price apps and cheap taps during every Arkansas game. Plus other drink specials that will keep the party going. Whether you're gearing up for kickoff or celebrating the win, Joe's is your go-to place for great food, cold drinks, and hog pride. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Half-price apps and cheap taps on game days during every Arkansas game. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Why would you wander around a warehouse store looking for paint when you could just swing by your neighborhood Ace? In addition to Ace's award-winning service, we have top-rated paint brands. Plus, our color matching technology allows us to match any color. So stop wandering and start painting. Head to your neighborhood Ace today.
Now through October 31st, get $10 off per gallon of select paint and exterior from Clark Kensington, Ace Royal, and Wood Royal brands at locally owned Yeager's Hardware. Yeager's, real help, real savings. Now open in Barling.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Remember, you live there for breaks.
The worldwide leader in sports.
It was her first call game with my wife, and we ended up on that field. We were in section 104.
Brother, you just turned the light bulb on. You gotta go with somebody. At least I go with a winner.
Tommy, they're great.
You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Did you ever pick up a ball and just shoot? I haven't picked up a ball in years. No, come on. Just like walk past. There's got to be a hoop somewhere at your place. You don't see a hoop anywhere around here, right? I don't. But it's a reason. It's the last time you picked up a basketball and shot. I was at the Ryder Cup, and I rented a house from the owner. Sure. He came over to do pictures and grandkids, and I was meet and greet and thank him for allowing me to stay in the house. And he had a basketball court. He says, "I want you to shoot one free throw." I said, "Really?" And I already paid for the house. It's not like they got to see me. So when I stepped up to shoot the free throw, it's the most nervous I've been in years. Stop it. In years. Stop it. Come on. And the reason being is those kids heard the stories from the parents about what I did 30 years ago. Right. So their expectation is 30 years prior, and I haven't touched the basketball. I hope you switched it. Absolutely.
I don't know if there's ever been an athlete to walk this earth that understood fans more than Michael Jeffrey Jordan, who's now a part of NBC's NBA products and did a short little stint with Mike Tirico last night, but thought that was a cool story. I think it was a 3 or 4 minute interview. Hoping to see more of him move forward. Thunder won. Thunder up, starting our way to back-to-back championships. Happy to see Isaiah, Jalen, and those guys get a ring. Cool to see last night in Oklahoma City. It's been a What's Your Beef Wednesday brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. Tommy's been talking about it all morning. Getting you ready for this weekend. Richard's has you covered. They've got everything. Steaks, burgers. I love the fire and the whole hot sauce. I'm almost done. I got to stop by and see Richard, Chris, and the team and get some more of that. They have everything you need for this weekend at Richard's Country Meat Market. So you had a pretty epic game with the Thunder and the Rockets. Katie back in town. Thunder take him to double OT, ultimately prevail and win, which was awesome to see. Got to make my way over to Oklahoma City at some point, and I'll have to stop by the Meineke Car Care Center before I do that, just to make sure geared up, ready to go. 2 locations at Rath Auto Resources and Rath Mitsubishi. David, Larry, always taking care of me from the start to the finish. They send you this comprehensive review when it comes to not just an oil change, but any work you need on your vehicle. Philip and the team there helping you out at the Meineke Car Care Center. Both locations both sides of the tunnel in Springdale and in Fayetteville. That's Rath Auto Resources and Rath Mitsubishi. Coming up, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Big C, halftime heading your way next.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer.